Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to NWA 78, the biggest show in the history of the NWA. We have an absolutely stacked card for you tonight, and we'll start off with Ortiz facing Dozer. These two men have been on a collision course since the kids aren't alright, with the winner of this match being the first to get an opportunity at the NWA World Heavyweight Championship at the next event. We will also see a fight pit match between two bitter rivals in Keith Lee and Spencer Slade. Their rivalry has been brewing for several months now, and the only way it can be settled is tonight in a fight pit match. There's no pinfalls, no disqualifications, no countouts. The only way to win is by tap out or by knockout. We will also see a four-way dance for the NWA World Women's Championship as the champion Masha Slamovich takes on three challengers in the former champion Kenzie Page, another former champion Yuka Sakazaki, and the brand new star in Lexi Cabrera. And then in our main event of the evening, we will see Chris Brooks challenge Bishop Dyer for the NWA World Heavyweight Championship. Can Chris Brooks prove that he's not just a replacement for an injured star? Or will he become the new NWA World Heavyweight Champion? We'll find out this and so much more tonight at the biggest show in NWA history, NWA 78. The show kicks off with an excellent 61 rated match, as Ortiz does in fact manage to defeat Dozer by submission after, it says, blatantly cheating. He does in fact hit him with a lead pipe, which is quite on point for Ortiz, before he then applies a submission and Dozer is forced to pass out. It's a really good 61 rated match. The creative finish unfortunately was a failure. Ortiz got a 70 and Dozer gets a 59, so a really good way to start the show. After this, we have a brand new match here in the NWA, as this is the Austin Idol Memorial Battle Royal. Austin Idol did unfortunately pass away in the game a few months ago, so us here at NWA are honouring him with this Battle Royal. This Battle Royal, the first one, is won by Manic. He wins the Austin Idol Memorial Trophy, and we'll see what that means for him in the coming moments. But a good 51 rated 20-man Battle Royal here, with a few debuts from a few people like Jack Cartwheel and Yuji Nagata. But Manic does win by eliminating Odinson last. So as we just saw, Manic has become the first ever winner of the Austin Idol Memorial Battle Royal. This trophy grants him a title match of his choosing. He must announce the title match at least a week in advance, so he can't just cash it in at any time he wants. It has to be a week in advance. But also, if he is to lose any match, if he is pinned or submitted in any match, whether that be a tag match, whether that be a triple threat, a four-way, whatever it may be, if he is pinned or submitted at any point whilst he holds the trophy will go to the person who does in fact beat him. He does have a calendar year, so up to NWA 79, to be able to cash in the trophy. But if he does lose any type of match, if he's pinned or submitted in that time, he will lose the trophy. We'll then go to our next match, and it is a 6-person war, as the Southern Six defeat the Disciples of Sin in just under 10 minutes. It is a good 48 rated match, a decent match here from these two teams. But this does mean that the Disciples of Sin are now forced to disband. The Southern Six have defeated them. Again, the losing team of this match was going to be forced to disband. And it does look like the Disciples of Sin are now done in the NWA. Doesn't mean they have to leave the NWA. They can still be around. But they are no longer together in a team. So the Disciples of Sin are officially finished in the NWA. After this, we have Weber Hatfield's first match of the night as he teams with Oliver Carter to defeat Breeze and Robbie E. If you remember on NWA Power, Breeze, Robbie E. and Matt Lee did form the team of Gucci as they all teamed together to beat down Weber Hatfield. Hatfield did announce that if he is able to defeat all 3 members tonight, he will get his opportunity. He has been able to defeat Breeze and Robbie E with the help of Oliver Carter, and he is now going on to face Matt Lee later in the night. But then Matt Lee sprints down to the ring. His match won't be later tonight as he throws Oliver Carter out. He grabs the referee, Katie Vella, and he demands that she starts the match straight away. The match was scheduled for later in the night to give Weber Hatfield some time to rest and recuperate, but Matt Lee wants it now. He wants to take every opportunity he can to beat Weber Hatfield. So we'll see whether or not Matt Lee is able to defend his NWA World Television Championship up next. And in a shocking turn of events, Weber Hatfield is able to defeat Matt Lee by a fast roll-up to become the new and 2-time NWA World Television Champion. He has defeated the odds tonight. He's went through 2 matches in a row to become the new NWA World Television Champion. It does get a good 45 rating. It is the 4th time they've wrestled in recent months, and it isn't as good as some other matches they've had. That's why it's been rated quite a bit lower. But we do now have Weber Hatfield being the new and 2-time NWA World Television Champion. After this, we go backstage to see Mark Henry and Titus talking in Henry's office. But when Preston Vance, formerly of AEW, walks in, Henry asks what Vance is doing here. Again, he hasn't signed him, he hasn't contacted him in any way. Vance says he's now been hired as the head of security by the president of the NWA. Henry, obviously seeming very confused, asks who exactly hired him. I know he said the president of the NWA, but he knows it wasn't Billy Corgan. So is there something going on behind Henry's back we don't know? Or is Billy Corgan trying to maybe oust Mark Henry? Or did Billy Corgan even contact Preston Vance? Or is there someone else working behind the scenes? Again, we'll have to wait and see in coming episodes of the NWA. In our next match, we have a 15-woman Battle Royal. This isn't quite like the Austin Idol Memorial Battle Royal. This was to get all the women on the card. But this Battle Royal is won by Mai Saruga. Again, it's a good 10-minute Battle Royal. All 15 women here in the NWA. And Mai Saruga gets a huge win. She will be getting an NWA World Women's Championship opportunity in the coming episodes of NWA Power. So we'll have to see who ends up winning the NWA World Women's Championship 4-way later tonight. A good 48 rated Battle Royal here. Again, Mai Saruga has a strong connection with the young female audience who really liked her winning this match. We then go backstage to Father James Mitchell. He is absolutely disgusted at the Disciples of Sin for losing the match and being forced to disband. But he says that his night isn't over. He always has a plan B, and he is going to reveal his Punisher later tonight. After this, we go to our Fight Pit match, as Spencer Slade is able to defeat Keith Lee by submission. He does make Keith Lee pass out in a sleeper hold to win the match and to end the rivalry altogether. Again, it is a really good 64 rated match. I believe this is one of their best matches, or it is their best match. Slade, again, benefits from having a really hot move, gets a 61, but his gimmick is getting stale, so we may need to change that in the coming weeks. But it is a really good 64 rated match here, and an excellent win over a very game Keith Lee for Spencer Slade. After this, we go to our triple threat Full Metal Mayhem tag team match for the NWA World Tag Team Championships, as the team of Starboy Charlie and Alec Price, the wildcard, are able to defeat the champions, the professionals, and the former champions, Bojack and Marsh Rockette. Again, it is a very good 61 rated match here, and an excellent win for the new NWA World Tag Team Champions and the Crockett Cup winners in Starboy Charlie and Alec Price. Again, excellent ratings here. Alec Price being head and shoulders above everyone else, getting a 73. He is definitely one for the future. But he is one half of the new NWA World Tag Team Champions. After all the carnage has been cleared from the arena, Mike Mondo comes out. He says it's an absolute joke that the National Heavyweight Champion, him, is not on the card tonight. Yet people like Dylan McKay and Casey Kazana, who are nothing but jobbers, were in the Austin Idol Memorial Battle Royal. He demands anybody come out and face him, because whoever they are, they're next. Obviously, Mondo putting out this challenge didn't expect who else would come out, but his challenge is answered by none other than Bill Goldberg. Goldberg marches down to the ring, he grabs a microphone, and he says that Mondo is next before he immediately storms into a spear, spearing Mike Mondo out of his shoes. Again, Goldberg leaves Mondo laying in the ring as the crowd chant for Goldberg. So Mondo looks like he's bitten off more than he can chew as he calls out anyone, and his challenge is answered by Bill Goldberg. We then have our first of two main events and first of two World Championship matches tonight, as the NWA World Women's Championship does in fact change hands, as Lexi Cabrera becomes the new NWA World Women's Champion. Again, this match gets an excellent 65 or 75 rating, and she is a new one-time NWA World Women's Champion, being able to defeat Masha Slamovich, Yuka Sakazaki, and Kenzie Page. Again, it's a huge win for the new hot star in the NWA Women's Division in Lexi Cabrera. So Lexi Cabrera celebrating in the ring. She is the new NWA World Women's Champion. Again, the other women, Kenzie, Yuka, and Masha, all look on from the outside. But it seems like this story isn't quite over yet. All three women still want the NWA World Women's Championship, and I'm pretty sure it won't be long before they're all challenging Lexi Cabrera once again. But now we move on to the main event of the evening. The NWA World Heavyweight Championship match between Chris Brooks and Bishop Dyer. And in a really good 66 rated match here, Chris Brooks manages to defeat Bishop Dyer to become the new NWA World Heavyweight Champion. Again, it is a really good match here, and Bishop Dyer's year-long reign with the NWA World Heavyweight Championship is over. He won the belt last year from RVD at NWA 77, but now he has lost it to the new star of the NWA, Chris Brooks, at NWA 78. Chris Brooks gets a 78, Bishop Dyer gets a 67. Unfortunately, again, the creative finish was a failure, but that doesn't matter because it is a really good match here. But as you can see, the show isn't quite over yet. Chris Brooks has done it. He's beaten the odds to become the new NWA World Heavyweight Champion. But Father James Mitchell comes out on the ramp. He has his Punisher with him, and his Punisher is none other than Punishment Martinez, formerly Damian Priest, a former WWE World Heavyweight Champion. Priest, or Punishment Martinez, makes it clear that he's coming for the NWA World Heavyweight Championship as the show goes off the air. So whilst Chris Brooks is the new NWA World Heavyweight Champion, Punishment Martinez is here, and he is coming for Chris Brooks and the NWA World Heavyweight Championship. So the landscape of the NWA has changed completely tonight here at NWA 78. So this show gets an overall rating of 64, which is a fairly long way off our best show ever, which was NWA The Kids on a Right, which I believe got a 72, but it is still a really good show. It increased our popularity in 53 regions, which I believe is every single region on the game. But it is still a very good show and an excellent way to end quite a few storylines here in the NWA. We'll then have a look at those popularity changes and how much money we did in fact make tonight. So we will be praising Chris Brooks, Lexi Cabrera and Weber Hatfield, three people that became new champions here tonight. Chris Brooks is very happy, Lexi Cabrera is pleased, as is Weather Hatfield. Have a look. I don't think there was any injuries on the show. Well, there was. Silas Mason. Again, it's 20-day injury, a bruised pectoral muscle for Silas Mason, who does seem to be quite injury prone at the moment. But he is able to work through it, and it's only a 20-day injury. We'll have a look at our financial report. The wage bill was very high on this show, but we did make $61,000. We made $25,000 in pay-per-view revenue, $76,000 in ticket sales. Like I said, workers were almost $40,000, just $3,000 under, but a really good profit made. We'll have a look at our popularity recap to see where we've gained. So we've only gained like actual popularity in a few regions. We've only gone up in a few regions, but we've gained everywhere. Again, because Billy Corgan has decided to change the product without obviously telling us or without actually consulting us. Our popularity gains are slightly hindered because of our change in product over the next few months, almost a year. But again, we are still growing in popularity very well. But for now, I will end the show here and I'll see you back at the office area. So here we are back in the home screen, and there's something really that's standing out more than anything else to me. That is that Roman Reigns is not being offered a contract extension by the WWE and will be leaving. Again, if we could get him, then I'm going to do my best too, because obviously it's Roman Reigns, but I doubt he will actually come because NWA is probably a bit too small of a promotion for him. If we get to meet him as soon as possible, hopefully he will end up coming to the NWA. There's also Noam Dar. He's leaving the WWE as well. He's probably more our speed and more likely to come to the NWA. But we'll have a look at our emails. Again, it's just a few people leaving. Goldberg's on one appearance. Dreadnought, his contract's expired. And Yamato, his loan period has ended as well. Silas Mason, confirmation of his injury. Our viewing figures are about 37,000. Again, same as our buy rate. And Dozer likes Fight Panther Jr., so maybe we should be pushing him. We have a decision to make, so we'll see what that is. So we have a release request from Casey Catanzaro. Again, Lacey Lane did leave a few months ago, but again, she hasn't been happy. Again, she wants to leave. I'll accept that. I am fine. I don't have to pay anything to end a contract, so I'm fine with her leaving. Again, she'll be gone from the NWA, and that is completely fine with me. So, as requested by some of you, we will be going through a bit of the backstage stuff. Now we've gone through our sort of end of season episode with NWA 78, so we'll be having a look at some of the backstage things like our popularity and champions, championship reigns, and the popularity of wrestlers as well. So we start with our popularity. Again, we have grown quite a bit. If we click on track progress, we'll see how much we have grown. Again, in the past year, we've gone from low 30s all the way up to low 50s. So we've grown almost 20 popularity points in the past year. Again, 25s to 43s, almost 20 popularity points across the board. If we have a look in Canada, we've grown slowly there as well, from 18 to 26. Mexico, we did go down for a dip for a little bit because we weren't being broadcast there. But as soon as we started being broadcast, we've shot back up to the low 30s. Again, the same goes for the British Isles. You can see when we then bought Pro Wrestling Eve, which has shot us up because we have been able to get a broadcasting deal. Same in Japan. We bought Choco Pro in January of this year, and we've got a broadcasting deal, so we're able to shoot back up. Again, Europe, we are starting to go back up again because we're now on Triller TV, which does give us a broadcasting deal for events. Same in Oceania, but India, we are still not broadcast, so we're going up ever so slightly. But we have a look at the popularity of our wrestlers to see who is the most popular in the company. So I'm just going to be flicking through some of the popularity of the wrestlers. I'll stop every so often to see some people who have gained popularity quite a bit. But again, Aero Panther, still not exactly popular, but again, we haven't used him that much. Alec Price is quite popular in the low 40s, or in some cases up 40s and low 50s. Again, Taylor, mid-20s. I'll just flick through some of the rest of them so you can stop at any point. Hopefully this goes relatively quickly. Again, if there's anyone you want to know more about on the roster, obviously feel free to put them in the comments below. If there's anyone you want to see me use more that I'm not using enough already, or you think I'm not using enough already, then again, feel free to put them in the comments below, and I'll try to use as many people as you want a little bit more. But Chris Brooks, again, his popularity has skyrocketed over the past few months, obviously since the injury to Colby Corino, so we'll check how that has been going. So you can probably tell exactly when Colby Corino got injured, as Chris Brooks went from 19 popularity all the way to 36 and has gone up exponentially ever since. Again, he's hung around that sort of mid to late teens up until Colby Corino's injury. I was planning on pushing him after NWA 78 anyway, once Colby Corino was obviously going to be the NWA World's Heavyweight Champion, but the injury to Corino did just make me push him forward. So again, he was always meant to be getting the push, just it accelerated it quite a bit with the injury to Corino. Again, we'll click through to Corino, his popularity, again still in the 50s, who will be back in quite a few months, probably around March or April of 2027. Some of the people you may not have heard of before, some people are leaving, like Danny B's leaving relatively soon. Danny Deals, I'm trying to get him out. But again, we'll start looking through more popularity. Like I said earlier, if there's anyone you do want to see more of, feel free to leave them in the comments below, and I'll try my best to push as many people as you want as possible. These two, Jim Smallman and Bel Castro, they're just people here for the booking side of things, so they'll probably never make an appearance on TV. But everyone else, hopefully, should be making appearances on TV. Again, we'll keep flicking through their popularity. If at any point you do want to pause and have a look more in depth into people's popularity, you can go ahead and do that. I'll probably speed this up a little bit so you can have a look at people's popularities. So one person you may have noticed on there is Taka Michinoku. He has been signed for the company for quite some time. However, whenever we have a show, he's always working for New Japan, so he hasn't been able to actually make an appearance yet. I am going to try and get him on the show very soon, but we do have to just wait until the schedules line up. But for now, we'll go to see our champions, and then we'll probably end the episode. So we've had the first Austin Idol Memorial Battle Royal, and it was won by Manic, as we did see in the just literally a few moments ago. The Crockett Cup was won by Alec Price and Starboy Charlie and Slade and Plunkett last year. We've had quite a few national heavyweight champions, with Mims being beaten by Silas Mason, who were then beat by Mondo. The US Tag Team Championships have changed hands quite a number of times, starting from the Country Gentlemen, AJ Ksana and KC Ksana, then Alex Taylor and Kerry Morton, then Vic and PCO, then the Faithless of Salvanara and Johnny Yuma, then Vic and Silas Mason, Dylan McKay and Sonico, another reign by Taylor and Morton, then to Max and Dreadnought, and now to Los Tranquillos. The World Junior Heavyweight Championship started off with Alex Taylor, it's gone through TJP, Ortiz, Oliver Carter, Yamato, and now it is Tyler Breeze. Tag Team Championships again started with Knox and Murdoch, then to the Diamonds in the Rough, Los Tranquillos, Bojack and Rocket, EC3 and Murdoch, and now it's with the Wildcard team. Weber Hatfield is now a two-time NWA World Television Championship. Again, it's gone through Carson Drake, Mike Mondo, Trevor Murdoch, Weber Hatfield's first reign, and then Matt Lee. The World Women's Champion is now Lexi Cabrera. It was Kenzie Page for over 900 days. You can see 972 days. Yuka held it for 56 days. Marsha for 57. And now Lexi is the new champion after NWA 78. The World Women's Tag Team Championships are still Kylie Page and Emi Sakura. They've held them for around 139 days. It has been through quite a few people, being Hayley J and Miss Star, who have both now left. Casey Catanzaro, Lacey Lane, who you have just seen, has left. And Kenzie Page and Alison Kay. And then the NWA World Heavyweight Championship did start with Tom Latimer. He was then beaten by Max the Impaler, who was then beaten by RVD. Bishop Dyer held the belt for just under a year, we'll just round that up to a year, 364 days, and the champion is now Chris Brooks. But we will be ending the episode here. There will be one change to upcoming episodes, however. As NWA Power, I am going to increase the time slot from 1 hour to an hour and a half. So NWA Power will now only be 2 episodes at a time, or 2 tapings at a time, rather than the 4. So we'll have 2 episodes of NWA Power. So we'll have, again, an event, 2 episodes of NWA Power, then obviously another event. But again, this will be after this episode. So before we get to our next event, which is Beers, Brawls and Burlesque, we'll have a couple of episodes of NWA Power. But once again, thank you very much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed. Make sure to like, share, subscribe, hit that bell notification icon. If there's any wrestlers you do want to see or want me to push, leave them in the comments below. Again, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you at 2 episodes of NWA Power.